Boys, it's time to celebrate. Crimson Desert just reached a new all-time player peak of 276,261 players, which is absolutely amazing. This is one of the highest peaks that we have seen in gaming for a long time, and there is a slight chance that it's gonna get even better at the end of this weekend. As you can see, the player score is going up, and up. Yesterday it was 81%, today it is 82%. All the trash players have been filtered, and now Crimson Desert is truly experiencing what it should have deserved at the start of the launch. And all of that is obviously thanks to the classic, now infamous, well, one of many infamous things that IGN has said and done, the infamous 6 out of 10 Crimson Desert IGN. It's okay! Oh yes, this is finally the full updated version of the review. The review of Absolute Trash. And we're gonna go into it a little bit because, as you can see, this thing is long, and I mean, my god, I don't want to deal with IGN. But I did find something very interesting here, and it's the fact that there's this vote, and it has 21k voters, so I don't know if IGN is just getting this many people reading this article because of how abysmally stupid and out of touch it is, or what, but IGN definitely has an audience because are you buying Crimson Desert at launch? Yes, 33%. No, I'll wait, 50%. No, I'm not interested in playing it at all. Tell us why in the comments. 16. Now, first of all, the fact that you make a poll like this and it has 1 yes and 2 no's is kind of a lot disingenuous. But still, the fact that so many people said no, I'll wait, does mean that the IGN probably does have an audience still. How? Don't know. Why? Don't care. Well, actually, I do care. I think the fact that there's people who think IGN is a decent source of anything is worrying, to say the least. In any case, let's read a little bit of this article, have some fun, because it's unhinged fucking shit, boys. It is what it is. Crimson Desert feels like it was designed in a lab by someone who wanted to combine elements of all their favorite big budget open world games into the ultimate video game. It's got the adventuring of the Witcher 3, the slow horseback conversations of Red Dead Redemption 2, the open-ended puzzle solving of Tales of the Kingdom, and the do whatever you want dynamic world of something like Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto 5. And while it's genuinely impressive that the developer Pearl Abyss even attempted to smash all these things I love into a single package, the result ends up being a jack of all trades and master of none. So first of all, again, outside of the realm of game journalists, you know, people with low IQs, I still have never heard anyone compare it to The Witcher 3 and say that the puzzles are Zelda-like. The Sky Islands, sure, Tears of the Kingdom, whatever the fuck you want to say. Red Dead Redemption 2 is also not a thing because, I mean, this whole review, this whole article, this absolute monstrosity of expression that should be outlawed, probably. See, all free speech is not good free speech, and IGN should be limited in their ability to do it. That's all that I'm gonna say, my Amer friends. In any case, there's so much fallacies here. First of all, this whole article is effectively saying, oh, this game does nothing unique. Yeah. For the last 20 years, I don't remember a game doing anything unique. The last time the unique question was raised was about Expedition 33 and their, quick time events in the combat, which was also, again, not a unique thing, and most people didn't even care about it. Crimson Desert does not do anything unique, true. But I am tired of this notion that oh, every game needs to do something unique. No, they don't. Most games fail because they feel like they need to do something unique. Slay the Spire, another absolutely massive game that's currently very popular. Does it do anything? No, fuck no. Slay the Spire 2 is literally Slay the Spire 1, but it just does the things it did already good better. Great game, by the way. Play it if you haven't. Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon is literally just Skyrim that does a lot of more things in depth, which is great. You don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything, honestly. You just need to make something feel good enough. And Crimson Desert does. And the people who say, oh, it's just a mishmash of these things, they don't understand what having fun even fucking is, in my honest opinion, at this point. Because all of their criticism of it are like, oh, but I have seen something like this in another game. Well, fuck, go play the other game. What am I supposed to tell you at this point? It is pathetic, okay? If you see blatant copying of a game, that's one thing if it's done poorly, like Diablo 4. But when you see something that's done good and you think it's a copy of something, that's a good thing, okay? Stealing is the way that Blizzard became famous and really good at some things. And then they stopped stealing and then they made Torghast. And then Elder Scrolls Online stole Torghast. One of the stupidest decisions in the history of gaming. But whatever. The exploration and combat falls short of the best open world adventure games. Wow, a game that's not purely designed about being exploration and combat falls short of your games that are literally designed solely of combat. By the way, I have a feeling this is one of those people. Well, he did give Highguard a 7 out of 10. And this is IGN we're talking about. The site gave Dragon Age the Veil God a 9 out of 10. But I have a feeling that this person who made this thing, Travis Northup, probably is one of those people. Oh no, we actually know this. I remember just now. He is one of those people who thinks that Dark Souls and Elden Ring are a masterpiece. And again, I fully believe at this point 20-year-olds that have experienced gaming and the best game that they have experienced is Dark Souls or Elden Ring. You're not wrong, it's a good game, but it's not a masterpiece. Elden Ring will never be truly considered a masterpiece of anything. It's a great, fun game. It's very good, it's very great, it's very fun, but it's no masterpiece. It's far from it, in fact. All the Souls games are good, but they're not masterpieces. But there's this specific group of people who think that that's a masterpiece because they just lack experience in any other games. And we know from the IGN video where he was talking about, he has the shelf behind him. I need a shelf. But instead of Dark Souls, I'm gonna have a vibe. No, maybe not. And he has like Dark Souls on the fucking shelf. Again, when you think... If you think the Dark Souls is the pinnacle of gaming, that just means you haven't played enough games. Liking Dark Souls is one thing, saying it's the best thing since sliced bread is another. The dialogue, characters, and the story are laughably bad. The puzzles are unintuitively intuitive and janky. Bro! You see, this is the thing. If you're 20, you have not played probably one of those games that are actually janky with puzzles. Crimson Desert does not even come close to being janky with fucking puzzles, okay? Some of these by the way, unintuitive is just no yellow paint and hand holding. We know that this guy's main complaint about the game was like, I finished the puzzle and I don't know if I did it right or did I cheat it. No. Crimson Desert does not have hard puzzles. They're all very simple and mostly intuitive, okay? Sometimes you can be like, oh, is that there or this here, or maybe you don't notice something, but they're all very intuitive, okay? Like, shit, literally one of the first puzzles of you find is like, put in this fucking plug in the socket. Okay? That's what Dragon Age Veilguard did, technically. You know? And it was too hard for some people. And the reactivity of the world around you is underwhelming. Wow, dude, I don't exactly understand what you mean by the reactivity of the world. What do people want when they say reactivity? You shoot a gun in Cyberpunk or GTA, people start running. Yes, makes sense. You know, well, that's it. Do you honestly need more interactivity? But despite all of the frustrations I faced around the 130 hours, it took me to complete the main story and do a good chunk of the side content. There were still many moments where I was left stunned by the sheer magnitude of the uneven world that's been created here. Like, all of this just sounds bitter. All of this sounds that you expected fucking Dark Souls or Elden Ring, and you didn't get it. And now you're butthurt about it. That's what this IGN article honestly just sounds like. Oh, I wanted Dark Souls. No. Not everything is Dark Souls. In the best moments, Crimson Desert has you wandering around, arm wrestling, fishing, gambling, completing side quests, and just letting loose an absolutely gorgeous open world where it looks like anything is possible. One moment, I was playing a mini settlement builder, managing resources and sending my allies out to earn loot and resources on my behalf, and the next I was hunting wild animals and grilling them in a pile of blah blah blah. Well, at least he doesn't hate the game in a purely general sense, I guess. But it's still it. This sounds, because everything that was said on IGN honestly just sounds as this. We at IGN actually hate this shit, like Clear Obscure Expedition 33. They hated it. But every other person in the world is being extremely generous to this game, so we're actually afraid to give it a negative review. If if there was no group of people who were laughing about IGN in the score, IGN would probably give Crimson Desert a 3 out of 10 instead of a 6 out of 10. I do not believe by just this part of the review alone that there was actual any real serious satisfaction in this game, or that the game even was remotely understood. And well, I would say that a game needs to be self-understandable, that you don't need to struggle to understand it. I mean, you still can't be asked to be a retard and not understand anything, okay? You still need to put in some effort for every game. This world is full of fun stuff to do, but the stories within it are consistently bad. Crimson Desert World is also hindered at almost every turn by jankiness and puzzling design choices. I don't understand. What is puzzling design choices here? I think Crimson Desert is, in fact, one of the best games I have seen in a very long time that actually properly shows how flora and fauna would look in the world. Like the amount of trees that you see in the mountainy regions and shit like that. I think all of that is very realistic, and I actually like it because that's one of my biggest personal autistic nitpicks about games is the fact that you have moss that grows underwater, and the same moss that grows inside of caves, and the same moss that grows up on the fucking hilltop for some reason in sunlight. That's just bad world design. Avowed was extremely bad at world designing. The other worlds too was also fucking horrible at world design. And they did mistakes like that. And well, again, it's just me being autistic. I am fully well aware that the average person does not really care that much about the world design looking even remotely believable to actual real life. Maybe it's because I like, you know, the outdoors and, going on treks and shit. But I think even if you don't actively think about these things, if a game has a believable setting and everything, it does improve your experience a lot. Because there's a lot of these things that we don't subjectively that we subjectively think about. We don't objectively perceive them and think about, oh, is a door there good or not? But subjectively we get some kind of kick out of the fact that, oh yeah, this looks believable. Some of the biggest misses are the boss fights, which abruptly take you out of the fairly casual action game combat that surrounds them and drops you straight up to Souls-like fights against multi-phased enemies that feel extremely out of sync with the rest of the adventure. This is hilarious, actually. The fact that this is a legitimate criticism, I wanted to get to this point. Everything else is kind of just fucking shit, honestly. But it's like, how are you a goddamn reviewer, honestly? Like, if you like, this is a this person not understand that this is a very specific personal opinion that he's now saying is making him judge the game not in a general sense but very specifically. Because I mean, there are games that have all the enemies hard. There are games that don't have all the enemies hard. There are Final Fantasy is known for having filler fucking trash normal enemies and then hard bosses. But now this guy's like, everything should be easy or it should be hard, but you can't mix the Why not? This is why people don't like IGN and don't trust IGN, because of completely insane opinions like this. Oh, the fodder enemies were in Dark Souls level bosses, and the bosses were Dark Souls level bosses? How is this possible? How does this make sense? It fucking does. In any case, this is why no one takes IGN seriously, because obviously it's just these opinions are wild. These opinions are not someone trying to review a game objectively. They're just pushing their own beliefs on us and wanting everyone to agree with what they said. If you disagree with what I said, that's fine. We can talk about it, we can debate these things, we can swap opinions. But I'm not forcing you to believe what I say. Maybe you agree with this slop review. Probably not, though. Let's be completely fucking real. But I try to generalize things, not just look at my own opinion on stuff. Sometimes I do, but then I explicitly say that that's my opinion mostly. But these people at IGN and most game journalists in general don't understand that that's even a thing you should be doing. Disappointing, sad, and pathetic at the end of the day. Anyway, what did you expect from IGN, honestly? Bye!